Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, this Bitcoin indicator is about to flip from red into green, sending a major bullish signal, likely coming very soon. And despite the fact that we're currently seeing a bit of a short-term cool-off in the smaller time frames, we're getting very close to potentially another short squeeze, while Solana is now breaking out from this bullish pattern. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 3-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the super trend indicator on the 3-day time frame is just about to flip back into the green, which is a massive bull market signal. The last time we saw this, we saw a major bull run for many months. And in order to flip this indicator into the green again, we need to see a confirmed breakout above this line right here in the super trend indicator, which is sitting at around 68.8k to 68.9k approximately. So once again, we need a breakout above that level, ideally above around 69,000, with a 3-day candle close above that level in order to confirm the breakout and confirm this indicator flipping back into the green, sending us a major bullish signal. And so once again, right now we're extremely close to that happening here on the 3-day time frame and getting closer towards it happening on larger time frames like the 4-day chart, for example. But at least for now, things are already starting to look bullish, as I've been saying for some time on these larger time frames here. Obviously, we've already seen that major breakout to the upside on the 2-day Bitcoin chart right here, with multiple confirmed 2-day candle closes well above this line of resistance, as I've already been saying for a while now on the channel. And this previous line of resistance was sitting at around $66,000. So for as long as we're holding above that level, we're looking really good here on the larger time frames, forming massive bullish price structure. And so like I said in recent videos here on the channel, despite what happens in the short term, of course on smaller time frames, we can see the occasional short-term cool-off here and there. But ultimately, despite what happens on the short term, on the smaller time frames, things are still looking very bullish when we're talking about the longer term trends, the larger bull run that we're seeing that will likely last for many months. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart right now, we are also breaking out above this area of resistance at the time of recording this video, because this area of resistance is sitting in between around 66.7k to around 68.3k approximately, so around 67 to 68,000 give or take. And right now we're currently trading above this resistance based on previous price action, these previous daily candle closes right here, and also the volume profile indicator. We're currently sitting above these areas right here. But with that being said, even though the price at the time of recording this video is currently trading above this area, we still need to see at least a daily candle close above this area. And the next daily candle close happens in roughly around 8 to 9 hours from now, if you're watching this video when I'm posting it. And so if we confirm this breakout well above 68,000 with that daily candle close confirming the breakout, then in that case, this previous area of resistance in between around 67 to 68,000 should become new support in case we were to see another pullback of some sort. Once again, that now should become new support if we first confirm this breakout with a daily candle close. And on top of that, the next major resistance that we have to the upside to pay attention to is starting at just underneath 72,000, around 71,500 to 72,000. We're likely going to find some resistance around there simply based on previous price action. And above 72,000, we should also find some resistance closer towards around 73,500, which is basically the all-time high level. So obviously, once we break out above around 72 to 73,000, we're basically entering into new all-time highs, record highs for Bitcoin into price discovery. And so like I've already been saying for a while now on the channel, despite what happens in the short term on smaller time frames, things are looking very bullish right now when we're talking about the larger trend and momentum in the market. And I'm not just saying that based on this chart and this chart, but also this chart right here on the daily time frame. Of course, we've seen this bullish breakout from this bullish cup and handle pattern, as I've already been saying for a while now on the channel, for close to a week now. And this gives us a technical price target for this breakout pattern right here, sitting at around $80,000 per Bitcoin as a technical price target that is active right now. But it is important to understand that we do have resistance between the current price and this technical price target. So obviously the price is not going to move there just in a straight line straight away. We're going to see some little cool offs or pullbacks potentially along the way up. It's not going to be a straight line. So just keep that in mind. But ultimately, for as long as we're still remaining above around $66,000, if we're holding above that level, we're still looking very bullish on this chart and many other charts that I've already been talking about here on the channel. And if we're taking a look at this 8-hour Bitcoin chart, technically speaking, the bullish divergence on the 8-hour time frame is still currently active, despite the fact that we recently entered into overbought territories, basically resulting in a bit of a short-term cool-off, just a slight slowdown from all of this previous bullish price action here in the short term. Technically speaking, we've not confirmed an invalidation signal to invalidate the bullish divergence, which means as of right now, it is technically still active. We just had a bit of a slowdown here in the short term. And obviously, I've been talking about this very bullish divergence right here since all the way back down here when the price was at around $60,000, which is close to where I entered my trade. I entered my long position at roughly around 62,000, give or take, once we actually confirmed this bullish divergence. And so right now, my current trading strategy is to simply continue holding that Bitcoin long position that I already accumulated at lower prices. And if you're on the channel over the last week or so, you would know about this long position trading this bullish move all the way up. And essentially, as the position moves further and further into profits, as the price goes higher and higher, I'm just slowly moving my stop loss further and further into profits, so that when we eventually see some sort of dump or crash of some sort, I don't necessarily expect that right now, but at some point in the future that will happen, and that will just trigger my stop loss and close the trade automatically in some massive profits. And also, if we confirm that daily candle close above this resistance, in that case, as I've also mentioned recently here on the channel, I'll be looking to potentially add to my current Bitcoin long position, basically increasing the position size or possibly just opening another long position on another account. And also another signal that I'll be watching out for besides this breakout on the daily time frame would be a breakout here in the 3-hour Bitcoin RSI. If we also confirm that signal, then once again, I'll likely continue to enter my long position or open up a new long position, because if we can finally see a breakout here in the 3-hour Bitcoin RSI above this line of resistance right here, basically breaking this downtrend in the short term, that would tell us that the short-term cool-off is now over and we're about to resume the bullish trend. And so obviously, first of all, as I've already been saying over the last couple of days here, I've been saying we should be due to see a bit of a slowdown, just a cool off in the short term, which so far has been playing out exactly as expected. In fact, in my last video, I said we're most likely going to see pretty much sideways price action. And since my last video, that's exactly what we've seen as expected here in the short term, just a short term cool off, basically resetting the RSI on smaller timeframes. But as I also said, when this resets the RSI, this can give us more room to the upside later on to eventually at some point continue the bullish trend, because on the larger timeframes, we're still looking very bullish, as I've just discussed. In fact, as of recording this video, this bullish signal in the super trend indicator on the 3-day time frame is right now flashing, but still needs to be confirmed with that 3-day candle close. And so the longer term is still very bullish right now. We're just waiting for a couple of shorter term signals like a breakout here in the 3-hour Bitcoin RSI and that confirmed daily candle close above this resistance in order to basically further enter into my long position. I'm still long on the price of Bitcoin since much lower prices, but basically to add to that long position and double down on this bullish price action. And personally, I take just about all of my trades over on Bybit, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade just by trading crypto using that link down below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account, and then simply claim the airdrop using that link. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there's also Bitfinex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitfinex, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitfinex. So I'll also leave a link to Bitfinex down below this video, and if you use that link, you can get up to a 5.5k deposit bonus, and only if you use that link, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitfinex exchange forever, but that's only if you use the link down below this video to make your Bitfinex account. And so as another option out there other than Bybit, one that you can access from the US and other countries like that, once again, there's Bitfinex links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and right now we are building more liquidity to the upside again, mainly sitting at just above 69,000. So more specifically around 69.1k to 69.3k. We have a decent amount of liquidity right there. And as I've already been saying over the last few days, these short-term cool-offs right here tempt some bears in the market to basically enter short positions, which adds more liquidity to the upside so that we eventually continue a short squeeze to take out that liquidity, which is what we saw just here. We saw a bit of a short-term cool-off for around 1 day from this previous bearish divergence right here. We saw a slight little pullback, nothing major, just a slight cool-off in the short term, which reset the RSI, giving us more room to the upside again in the short term, which basically tempted some people to enter short positions, and that's why I said back then it is a trap. And so like I said back then, I would not be entering a short position. A lot of shorts will get trapped in a move like this, in a bear trap, and that's exactly what happened as expected, as we did build more liquidity to the upside and take out that liquidity, liquidating those short positions. And right now we're seeing the exact same playbook again. We're seeing a very slight little cool off here, nothing major, tempting some short positions to enter into the market, adding more liquidity to the upside, and will likely soon push up and take out that liquidity. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and right now we're getting very close to this major area of resistance, which will be an important testing point for Ethereum, sitting at around 2.8k, and that will be a very important test, because if we see a breakout above 2.8k, that would be extremely bullish for Ethereum here on the larger time frames when we're talking about the larger trend and momentum. So once again, 2.8k is the level to watch if we want to flip much more bullish again, not just in the short term, but expecting more of a bull run for Ethereum. So once again, 2.8k should be acting as resistance, but when we're zooming into the shorter term here on the 8-hour time frame, right now we're already starting to run into this area of resistance, starting at around 2.7k and going up towards around 2.8k. So really in that entire price range, previously we have had a lot of resistance in that price range in between 2.7k to 2.8k. And so, of course, as I've already been saying for a while now on the channel, the short term is looking bullish, but we need to see a breakout above 2.8k in order to flip bullish on these larger time frames, expecting more of a bull run well above $3,000 and potentially back up towards around $4,000, back up towards these highs if we break out above 2.8k with confirmation, so candle closes above that level. And zooming back into the 8-hour time frame, right now it is important to mention that the 8-hour Ethereum RSI is once again entering into overbought territories at the same time as the price running into major resistance. So just keep in mind, I would not actually be surprised if we see a bit of struggle in the short term around this resistance and then eventually see a breakout maybe on the next attempt. But either way, whether we break out straight away right now, or if we see some sort of rejection, some sort of cool off again, resetting the RSI, and then eventually break out maybe in a few days or a week from now, either way, when we eventually break out above 2.8k, next I'll be targeting closer towards around 3.2k. And above that level, we do have some resistance at around 3,500. And then if we can break out above those areas right there, we do have our next level of resistance closer towards 3.8k at around $4,000. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 3-hour time frame, obviously just recently, over the last couple of hours or so, we've now seen a breakout above this line of resistance and also invalidating this short-term bearish divergence by seeing a major breakout here in the RSI. And statistically speaking, a rising wedge breaks to the downside roughly 2 times out of 3 and breaks to the upside roughly every 1 time out of 3. So obviously this is the 1 time out of 3 where we're seeing a bullish breakout from a rising wedge. Technically speaking, it's the less likely scenario, but it still happens every now and again. It's not as common, but it still obviously happens as we're seeing right now. But like I said in my last 1 to 2 videos here on the channel, I said if we see a breakdown from the rising wedge, we'd likely just see a retest of this short-term area of support in between around 2550 to 2580. But then if we see a breakout to the upside above this line of resistance, then we'd likely just enter into this area of resistance in between 2.7k to 2.8k. And right now, that is what is happening. So essentially, if you were to trade a breakout from around 1660 from this breakout right here up towards around 1.7k, 7K, that was a possible trade. But obviously when we're talking about the small time frames here, we're talking about very short-term, very small moves. And so a much larger trade that I'll potentially be looking at for Ethereum is if we can confirm a breakout above 2.8K, because that will be very bullish, looking at a much larger bullish movement likely going to play out if we see a 2.8K breakout here on the larger timeframes. And if we're taking a look at Solana on the daily time frame, right now Solana is once again retesting this area of resistance where we've previously found multiple rejections from in this area right here, and that's sitting in between around 159 to 163. So keep in mind we still have strong resistance in this area, so ultimately we need to see at least a daily candle close confirm above 163 in order to be confident that we're finally breaking out above this resistance and heading up towards higher price targets. First of all, we should find a small amount of resistance in between 170 to 175, but ultimately the next major area of resistance to watch out for once we see a breakout above 163 is sitting in between around 183 to 187 based on previous price action. And so in other words, if we can confirm a daily candle close above 163, we'll likely head into the 180 price range within the next few days or weeks, potentially as a likely scenario if we can first see the breakout above 163. And if we're taking a look at this daily Solana chart, over the last one day, we've now officially confirmed a daily candle close above the neckline to confirm the breakout for this inverse head and shoulders pattern. So once again, this inverse head and shoulders pattern is now officially confirmed because we've seen a breakout above around 158, which was the neckline, and this has been confirmed with a daily candle close. But it is important to understand that even though we've confirmed this breakout above 158, we cannot ignore resistance. So we still have this resistance going up towards around 163. So like I said, over the last couple of days, ideally we just need to wait to see a breakout above 163 to really be confident that this inverse head and shoulders pattern will actually play out. And obviously at the time of recording this video, you can see the price of Solana is getting very close to that 163 level. So we only really need to push just a few dollars higher and then confirm a daily candle close above that level, above 163, in order to further confirm this pattern, because we'll be confirming a breakout above this resistance. And in case you're new to the channel, the price target right now for this inverse head and shoulders pattern is sitting at just above $200, around $202 approximately. So from where we are right now, close to the breakout point to that price target, we're talking about around a 26% move to the upside, and that is with no leverage. So just for example, with a 10x leverage long position from where we are right now to that price target, that would be over a 260% profit. But it's important to understand a few different things. First of all, if we were to see a rejection from 163 and then break back below 158, that would invalidate the breakout if we break back below 158, which would invalidate the bullish price target. So that would be a possible point to think about a stop loss, for example, maybe on the other side of the point of invalidation. And also, despite the fact that we have a price target at just above $200, obviously we cannot ignore resistance. So first of all, we do have that resistance at around 163, give or take, but then even above that level, we do also have a bit of resistance as well at these higher price ranges, as I also said just earlier. And so ultimately, it's extremely unlikely that we'll just go in a straight line straight up towards $200. We'll likely see some struggle around these areas of resistance along the way up. So basically, as we're breaking out, expect some struggle around these areas of resistance while we're heading towards this bullish price target. But ultimately, right now, we're looking very bullish, and especially if we can confirm a breakout above 163, that would be very, very bullish, a potential trading opportunity towards this major bullish price target. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.